Hi, I'm Bill Powers. I'm an attorney in North Carolina that helps people with different criminal, traffic, DWI type of matters. Offer a free consultation, so there's no charge for the consultation. It's confidential. And I like to answer these questions we see online on different message boards, listservs, things like that, just to help people out, generally speaking. If you have a specific question, if you want to know a more full or thorough answer to your inquiry, which is oftentimes not only recommended, but in some instances just downright smart thing to do, give us a call. If not us, please call some other lawyer to get answers to your questions. This is a common one, and it's common because of the number of offenses that we see charged in North Carolina, and the number of times I see the same question posted over and over and over online. What is the worst case scenario for a misdemeanor larceny? Someone they love is pressing charges against me because she has a grudge against me. Said I stole some money from her. The warrant issued was the day that person was arrested. Okay, so what this is the question is what's the worst case scenario on a charge, but it's actually couched in, it seems like a domestic issue. The reason it's important is that all too regularly I see people in court handling a larceny case thinking I went into Walmart and I tried to take, I don't know, a Snickers bar or something, and they wrote me a citation and I'm just going to go in and I took it and I'm just going to admit responsibility. And while I understand the sentiment and I understand the willingness to accept responsibility, I don't think people always get, especially younger people nowadays, get what happens from that point forward in your life. Larceny, shoplifting, unlawful concealment, taking things, attempting to taking things, stealing things, misrepresenting things, providing misinformation in order to obtain things, that may not carry jail time. I mean, there are certain circumstances where there's just realistically it's not going to happen. It may affect your ability and your life to get a job in the future because it's a crime of moral turpitude. It's a crime of dishonesty. It's a crime where you are labeled for the rest of your life a thief. And you're like, well, Bill, it wasn't that big of a deal. Trust me, it's a deal. It's a big deal for employers when they're looking at your record to see that you had a larceny case on your record. It doesn't even have to be a felony. Larceny cases, crimes of dishonesty or moral turpitude, have long-term, long-lasting, serious consequences. And that's even for just American or U.S. citizens. If you are in some different status, visiting our country or here, trying to apply or make application to the country, it could result in your deportation and removal from the country and prohibition from re-entry. Now, I am not an immigration lawyer. I don't handle immigration matters. And anytime there's any chance that that may be an issue, we always refer those type of cases to an immigration lawyer. It's that serious, it's that consequential, it has that series of long-term options available. So what happens? What's the worst case scenario? Well, it depends a lot on the type of larceny. This one in particular instance sounded like a misdemeanor larceny. If there's no prior record, we have grids, or some people call them grids, or sentencing guidelines, sentencing charts, and we have these online, by the way. If you'd like to see the most recent one, check out our blog post. Excuse me, where we look at the type of offense. Is it a class A1 of misdemeanor all the way down to a class 3, so you have A1, 1, 2, and 3, depending on the severity of the offense. And I know I'm talking about offenses other than larceny. And then we have prior record levels across the top of the grid of 1, 2, and 3 based on your prior record. And depending on where you fall within the grid, in some types of cases, more minor cases, maybe a class 3 misdemeanor, the most you can get is a fine and maybe it's a community service or what we refer to as a community punishment. On the upper level misdemeanors, A1 misdemeanors, you may get some jail time. The maximum on a A1 misdemeanor, and not to say that larceny falls within that category. The maximum for assault on a female, assault with a deadly weapon, assault on a government official, assault on a child as an A1 misdemeanor, if it falls within that category, is 150 days in jail if you have the worst prior record level depending on the points assigned to prior convictions. So on larceny cases, I think people, when they have assault cases, they understand, oh, that's kind of serious. DWI, people understand the serious nature and possibly the consequences of your license. I see all too often people come into court thinking they can throw themselves on the mercy of the court and walking out of courtroom thinking, oh, I just got court costs, everything's kosher, it's not on my record. They don't even understand what a conviction means. They'll say, 30 days suspended, unsupervised probation, it's no big deal. And then weeks, days, months, years go on and people start to realize, hey, I didn't get this job, and I didn't get this job, and this opportunity wasn't open to me. And then they start asking questions, why not? Why can't I get a lease in an apartment? And I provided them my background information, and they said they won't, lease to me or whatever. That's the long-term consequence of larceny charges. So it may not be jail, it may be jail, it may not be supervised probation, it may be unsupervised probation, but the worst case scenario is your name, it's your reputation, it's what you are called for the rest of your life. That doesn't mean there's a get out of free jail card in every larceny case. It doesn't mean that you may not, despite best efforts of counsel or yourself, you may not be able to avoid a conviction. But it sure as heck makes sense to find out. Are you eligible for a diversionary type of program? Are you eligible to do some community service or some other alternative to the conviction, if at all possible? That's what lawyers do. We provide information, we provide options, we explain to you how a very complex legal system, sometimes very complex legal system, works in North Carolina. We're here to help. Give me a ring, 704-342-HELP. My name's Bill Powers, 704-342-4357. And great question. Thanks for asking it.